It is welcome to the post-game show. And I've been in broadcasting for about 27 years. I'm very rarely speechless, but I am speechless.
Yeah, I can concur with that. I'm kind of was thinking the same way as we climbed up here. That was quite something. It's really hard to find and especially in the context of a season that it's like you can be speechless about that game if it was going to move you from like the 8th to the 9th or 7 to 8 or whatever in playoff position. I mean, obviously that's all gone by the wayside now. But even still, with nothing at stake, that is a hard loss to see.
To me, I mean, you have Farabee. The penalty happens with a minute left, and they get a shorthanded goal to tie the game. I mean, this is like it just makes me think of the Megadeth song. 99 ways to die. It's the ways you're finding 99 ways to lose. 99 ways to lose your lover.
Yep.
Paul Simon. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to say. It's ripping defeat from the jaws of victory. You want that to be the other way around.
Yes.
Grab victory.
It's more effective the other way around. Yeah. I'm still not really sure how the tying goal happened. I mean, it was like basically a 2-on-5. And somehow it just got completely out of hand. Ristolainen comes in kind of like a wrecking ball, trying to block the pass, and he does block it, but nobody else gets on the puck. And I remember glancing up at the end or glancing up to see it happening live. I'm like, where is the defense? Because the only guy in the shot is Derek Brassard.
And there's two Montreal players right at the top of the crease.
Yeah. So I don't know how exactly that ended up being the way it did. Again, it's a basically a 2-on-4. They've got it controlled, and the lead guy gets around Sanheim in the corner, and it's just again a total panic mode all of a sudden. Ristolainen does make that play to block the initial bid, but he doesn't get any help after that.
Yeah, he's slow to get up after that after going into the boards off there too.
Well, he's probably only going about 20 miles an hour when he hit it. I mean, but and then I don't know. It's like it's like somebody's got the voodoo doll somewhere with the pins right in the right spot for Cole Caulfield to get the game winner, isn't it?
Oh my goodness! Right?
It's just
man, what a shot too.
Yeah, right off the bench. I mean, good look from Pitlick, but it's that's his strength. And again, the Flyers believe they have a future that's better than it would have been if they brought him in. That may very well be the case, but it's going to take some time to wait and see.
Yeah, and see the real issue with the overtime goal is that you have possession of the puck. You're coming out of the zone. Overtime in 3-on-3 is all about possession. First, you had the power play, the 4-on-3 for a minute to start, and you had a couple decent chances. And Montalban made a great save late in the game. But then the problem is that you have possession of the puck. It's an easy out, and somehow the puck ends up in the back of somebody's foot, and then there's a loose puck word battle that they win, and it sends them right in on a quick 2-on-1. And Provorov can't get over there in time to mute the shot of Cole Caulfield, and he wires it.
Yeah.
I mean, geez.
And I mean, the overtime in general, I mean, it was one of the shakiest I've ever seen. You have the 4-on-3 power play, and you can't get it off the point. You can't find the guy down low for whatever reason. And then you've got zone entries going on where you've got guys running into each other, and again, Montembeault made the saves when he had to, but the Flyers did not make it anywhere near as difficult on them as they could have in that overtime period.
And this is a goalie, by the way, playing it back-to-back. Played in overtime and 7-round shootout game last night in Montreal. And a 4-3 loss against Seattle. And then they come in here. I know they're playing better of late. They come in 7-2-1 in their last 10, but this is just unbelievable that they go down in this fashion in this game. And I'm struggling to find FCC approved language and words, and look, I was downstairs when the game ended and players are coming off, and let's just say there's a lot of shrapnel down, a lot of broken sticks.
Yeah, I was going to say, I hope they are cross.
Oh, they are.
And that's the only thing that you can take out of a game like this is that you hope that this is the straw that kind of breaks the camel's back in terms of
how many camels have we broken?
Yeah, in terms of them coming out and on what's going to be a huge night for the organization on Thursday already across the board. You just hope that they take this all out on the Nashville Predators on Thursday. That's the only thing that you can hope that happens after this. So it's again they're going to have. I think there's more uncomfortable conversations coming after the way that game wrapped up.
Yeah, I'll be interested to hear what Mike Yo says after this game.
Yeah, so again,
he doesn't shy away from it.
No, and it's the killer thing is that it's that tying goal. That's your guys on the ice. That's your top line. That's they're the ones that you want to put out and shut things down. They're the ones that were out there for that goal. So that's the thing that bugs you a little bit more.
Yeah, and you're on the power play. You look for an opportunity. I'll hit you tomorrow morning.
Okay. I thought he wanted to join us. You're done?
He's got nothing left to say.
Have a beer for me, Coach.
Yeah. Might be a couple after the game. I mean, it's just, again, he
just meant for tonight. You just meant you're done for tonight, right?
We were talking to him earlier in your office. I said, what are you doing tomorrow?
Done for good.
He says, I'm going to rehab in the morning. I said, there's some words I never thought I'd hear you say.
Yeah, it needs to contextualize that a little bit.
And I said, what are you doing in the afternoon? He said, I have a tea time. I said, you're the only guy that can go to rehab knowing he has a tea time and he has to leave.
It's not that kind of rehab. He had
cardio.
I think a lot of people know this. I don't know who does or doesn't. Quadruple bypass surgery in the offseason. So still working his way back from that.
Yep.
But unfortunately, he might need a couple doses of rehab after that. Man.
I mean, it is stunning. That is a stunning. I'm just going back in my mind and trying to remember some of the unbelievable losses and how they happened, whether it's the Garnet Hathaway Washington game, whether it's the Minnesota Wild game. The Caps game was the Hathaway one, and the Minnesota Wild. I mean, this is just recent.
Yeah, and with all those games, especially the Hathaway game, I mean, you have at least the opportunity to give a good bit of credit to the opponent for those wins. This one was kind of just handed off, unfortunately.
Yeah,
that's really the only way that you can describe it. Obviously, you have to execute to some extent. It's a hell of a shot by Caulfield,
with an easy zone exit, you shouldn't be in that spot right there.
You got to have better situational awareness of who's changing. And he comes off the bench, and there's three guys with their back to him. Nobody sees him.
Yeah, and the one side of the ice is almost flooded too. Mm-hmm. The right side of the ice, if the Flyers looking toward the Montreal net, and Caulfield goes right down that left side, and boom, it's in the back of the net. Man, unbelievable. All right, let's let our radio audience go on 93.3 WMMR and the Flyers Radio Network. Let's thank Ryan Spillman for doing a great job back. Not Ryan Spillman, Ryan Shuttlesworth. Spillman is our old producer at the Fanatic. I went right to Spillman.
Our brains are a little scrambled now after that.
Yeah, well, a little. We also thank, is it Ashcraft? Yep, Pancake. Chris Ashcraft on highlights tonight back at the station. Tim Saunders and the aforementioned Steve Coates. I'm Jason Martinez, Brian Smith. And we'll talk to you coming up on Thursday for Claude Giroux's 1,000th NHL game against the Nashville Predators. Have a great night, everybody. Thanks for listening. Thanks, Rye. All right. Now we're on the stream, and we're not guided by the FCC.
Well, we also still have a live room.
Yeah, I think they're feeling the same way, except for those that man over there in the Montreal Canadiens Carey Price jersey.
Mike Yo just said Risto had to make the play that he made. while he wouldn't call out either Sanheim or Broussard, he talked about not winning the puck battle and not covering, quote, the house.
Yeah, you got to protect the house.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what you got to. I mean, there's not just one guy there. It's not just Rem Pitlick. It's also Suzuki there. He doesn't even need to use them because he's able to, just punch it in behind Hart. But I mean, it's just, again, I've never seen a team rip defeat from the jaws of victory so repeatedly in a season. It's just crazy that this has gone this way. And I mean, when you look at the standings right now. We talked about Montreal in the pregame show, only had 8 wins not that long ago, right? I mean, the Flyers, Montreal now on the season has 16 wins. The Flyers have 18.
Yeah. Caught up to him real quick. I'm looking at this again from the perspective of what Mike Yeo just said. Ristolainen makes that play. He slides into the end boards. And at that moment, the Flyers have the house taken care of. There's 3 guys, the 3 forwards. The 3 forwards are in the house. And Travis Sanheim is going after that loose puck. Unfortunately, though, as he goes after that loose puck, Giroux and Atkinson join him. And, Broussard is still.
Giroux's got to join it. He's the center.
Yeah, he's got to join it. But Atkinson peels out to the top of the circle. And then Broussard is still in the slot briefly, but then he just kind of drifts into the circle. And Rem Pitlick is right there with the keys. Again, that's in that situation, just get everybody back to the middle, right? And just shut it down. But
it's just a mental error.
Yeah.
It's a mental error. It's, Broussard knows better than that. You're on the power play. You're trying to pressure the puck to get it back so you can go back on the man advantage and salt this thing away. And then, boom, it ends up in the back of your net. And here you are. And now you get it to overtime, and they're able to get it done in overtime, and you have a minute of power play time. In this power play just has not delivered at any time when they really need it.
I mean, and again, to keep making it worse,
is that possible?
You go back and look at the start of this whole thing. The Flyers win the offensive zone draw on the power play, with a 1-goal lead, a minute to go, and they win the draw. It gets worked down the wall, and then they dump it in deep, and there's nobody going there after it. And then Montreal breaks out with that 4-man rush right from there. I'm trying to rationalize this in my head, and I can't really find a way to do it. So it got away from them that quickly with just that. You're going to dump it down into the corner and kill some time, great, but you got to fall back and defend, and they don't really do that effectively.
Just keep them to the outside.
It's a simple board pass that beats the entire forward line. But again, they only had 2 guys going back down with the defenseman. I don't know. It's a bit of a dead horse, I guess, at this point. But again, you just hope that this incites some anger. They arrive on Thursday in ill humor, as was once said.
Yeah, I mean, you have to. There's such thing as situational hockey, right? You have a lead, so the way you play when you have a 1-goal lead should be far different. It should be more conservative and gapped to defend more than it is to try and force a turnover and go the other way.
Yeah.
And it was like there was a lack of awareness that they had the lead in the game before they tie it shorthanded. Keep them to the outside. The clock is their enemy. Don't let them get the puck deep with possession and then have the ability to then get guys to the net. But, I mean, I don't know. Like you said, I think we're beating a dead horse. This has been the case pretty much since a month into the season, finding these different ways to lose games. And, I mean, they're coming up with ways that I didn't even know existed. I've been around this game a long time.
Did we lose Wi-Fi in the building while this was all happening?
I don't know.
It seems that way because I'm just – it's back now, but I'm looking at some of the tweets from the end of the game, and the entire press box lost it too.
Yeah. Can't believe they didn't go to the phones.
It is just it's one of those nights, isn't it? My goodness. And, again, this is a this was a situation where the Flyers had Montreal kind of right where they wanted them. They played a good game against them overall, and it's a team that they should beat under these circumstances, especially when they choose to use the goalie twice in a row. I don't know.
It's unbelievable. I guess it's just unbelievable. At this point, again, I just don't even know what to say. I'm going to need the whole car ride home to listen to Mike Yo and to the Players post game to kind of really come to grips with what we saw here tonight and the situation. Because, again, as bad as Montreal has been in total this season, they only have 2 less wins than the Flyers.
Right.
Just tells you where we are right now.
I look at it and it's like if it helps you, by the way, it sounds like from what I'm reading with the post-game press conference that Mike Gill feels the same way we do.
I imagine he's
it's puck possession. That's a turnover by Travis Sanheim in the offensive zone that doesn't just go 180 feet. It went 30 feet back the other way before they turned and came up the ice with it.
Yeah.
So it's like a 250-foot turnover that ends up in the back of your net. That's the way this game is right now. So, you try your best to maintain the puck possession as much as you can. And that, again, if you have the puck, you're not defending, all that good stuff. That's just that's what happens. Even when you think you're good on time and you dump it in deep and it's safe, it can go the other way. Lickety split.
And it did. I don't know what else to say. Do you have anything else you want to say? Is there any sense in trying to make sense of what's not able to be made sense of?
I think at this point you just switch this one off and put this one in the rearview mirror. This might be as bad as one of those games, when you come out and you lose 8-0 and you just toss the tape in the trash and you say, all right, we're just going to pretend that didn't happen. That might be what you do with this outcome. And you focus forward on Thursday night and the occasion that's on hand there, and you make doggone sure that you're not going to have something like that happen on a night like Thursday.
Yeah,
is what it comes down to me. I don't think there's much else to do with that other than that. You're going to have nights that are just at the kind of scraping the bottom of the barrel. I think this is one of them. So just toss it aside, press forward, and let's have a strong effort on the 1,000th game night on Thursday.
And I think that Mike Yo is going to use this though as another teaching moment, another cultural tipping point.
Yeah. What he did the other night, the way he turned that into a building block. You got to do the same thing tonight.
Yeah,
and he said as much here. There's a quote. There's a mention. It's not a quote. It's a summary from Bill Meltzer. Next step could be fourth line demotion or scratch. I think there was a typo here. So next step could be fourth line demotion or scratching for vets as well as young players. So maybe we've gotten to that point.
Well, Bill said, through clenched teeth, Mike Yo understandably tore into the team after the game. Said team gifted chances to dangerous players, Suzuki and obviously Cole Caulfield. Said next step could be fourth line demotion of scratching for vets as well as young players. Said lead never felt comfortable. It didn't. It was a sloppy game.
Yeah, it was.
It was.
And you expect a sloppy game under the circumstances, right? With back-to-back 2 teams both travel, you expect it to not be the cleanest game in the world, but you can't have it end like that.
Yeah, unreal. So I got to say that I am looking forward to hearing Mike Yo's post-game press conference. And I will make sure that I put it in tomorrow's Flyers Daily for people that didn't hear it as well. And we'll see what he had to say, and we'll see how this team can move forward and expunge this and make sure they leave any of this kind of traits in this season. And I don't know what it's going to take, but I really don't know at this point. I don't.
Yeah, it's got to. None of this can carry over till next year, is what it comes down to, right? This has to all be left in this season, and next year's got to be a clean slate, and it's got to be a situation where you're just you're just moving forward and making sure that whether it's habits or what exactly the problem is that it has not carried over.
Well, Doug Schultz on the stream tweeted in and said, watching Mike Yo post game, it sounds like he has hit his breaking point. I think it's like saying you've hit rock bottom, and then you come to find out that rock bottom had a basement.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
And then rock bottom's basement had another basement. We're finding out this may be Atlantis underground. Alan commented it and said, hi, Jason Martinez. Hi, Alan. He said, horrible loss. I miss those days of getting ready for Flyers playoff hockey in late March going into April. I totally agree.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's still not a normal season. And unfortunately, it's you have this confounding the fact that it's not a normal season. But, you can only, again, try to use what the time that you got left to build a good foundation for the future.
I mean, damn it. This game. Seriously, how does this happen? You got a power play with a minute to go.
Yeah.
And you end up, that play happens, two guys in front of the freaking net by themselves, right? And they bury it. You go to overtime, and then you lose the game on a clear zone exit with possession, and it ends up in the back of your damn net.
If you have not yet experienced the Flyers Daily podcast, tomorrow might be a good day to start.
Oh, man.
Just might. I don't know.
I'm going to need some kind of medication to calm me down. Like, I try and pride myself on remaining rational and not emotional. But, damn, this pisses me off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And again, you're seeing it in the head coach, too. You're seeing it in everybody down there, I think. This is one of those ones that really kind of eats at you. This, as much as people in the work inside the game are able to not get too high after, the highs don't get too high, the lows don't get too low. You stay fairly even keeled. This is one that will affect you, even if you're a grizzled veteran in this game as a player or a coach or whatever. I can only wonder what Chuck Fletcher is thinking right now. It's just one of those games that really is going to grind at you. It's one of those games you wish you came back tomorrow and played again, but now they've got to sit through this for 3 days. And tomorrow's an off day. I don't think it's going to be a very enjoyable off day for a lot of these guys. It's an off day, and then they're going to come back on Tuesday. And
so for the people that don't understand how the off day works, like tomorrow is what is called, we kind of call it the CBA off day. CBA, collective bargaining agreement, requires that they have these throughout a season. And it's almost like they're predetermined based on your schedule. So it's not like they let that game get away, they're going to give them off tomorrow. No, it's an off day. So unbelievable.
Yeah, you can't travel. Like you're a road. You can't have a travel on a complete off day. I'm not even sure. I guess you can have one on the road, but nobody really likes that. So the Flyers have these 3 days. They got a back-to-back off on Saturday. Yeah, off on Saturday. And they play against Sunday. Deadline Monday. Then they're on the road for 5 games. So yeah, you got to get it in here.
Well, we'll see what they can do Thursday for Plug-in 1,000 game. You think it is 900th NHL point. It was 999th game tonight. That's going to do it. We'll wrap it up. And we'll talk to everybody coming up on Thursday when the Flyers are back at it. And I'll be listening for Mike Yo. Boy, the reports I'm seeing on social media is that he is one angry interim head coach right now.
I might come in tomorrow and repaint the locker room.
I wouldn't repaint it if I was him.
I'm just saying it's going to need it. Is all the odds.
There'll be a lot of players repainting that room. You know what I mean?
Well, it's a union building, so
yeah,
maybe they can help.
Unreal. All right, everybody on the stream, thanks for checking in. This is an unbelievably deflating loss, as Ted Clover said on the stream. And in what's been a deflating season, this could end up being the pinnacle. Everybody have a great day.
I certainly hope it is.
Yeah, the pinnacle of badness.
Oh, gosh.
All right, everybody, chin up. Good news is tomorrow's Monday. Oh, jeez. I'm full of great news. All right, we'll talk to you on Thursday.
All right, folks. Have a good night.